Hey there everyone, I'm meteorologist Hannah Fink and thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Next Weather. We're going to be breaking down quite a few things. We have an update on the tropics, what this weekend's weather is going to look like. It's currently June 12th, so the weekend weather of June 13th as well as 14th, and then a look into next week on what we possibly could see the work week of June 15th. So we're going to get right into it by explaining what exactly we are tracking in the tropics right now. So this has been something we've been looking at over the last couple of days, and it currently has been upgraded to a 20% chance of development in the next 48 hours as well as the next 7 days. This is a broad area of low pressure that is currently located in the Bay of Campeche off the eastern coast of Mexico. So we're going to jump into what exactly we know about this at this point. Well, it is remnants of Tropical Storm Christina, which was a tropical storm in the Pacific. So this is a crossover system. It does have a very low chance of development into a tropical storm or depression, but we're going to keep an eye on it. But some of the things we do know that it'll indirectly do is bring lots of tropical moisture to the southeast, and it does not have a local impact to us directly, but could alter our weather pattern going into next week. Here's another look at that. So we do know it is a tropical disturbance in the southwestern Gulf that is near the coast of Mexico. Very low odds, and this moisture will then surge up north. There's a lot of tropical moisture associated with it. Then it's going to interact with a front that'll move over our area and then stall out. So there's a lot of atmospheric ingredients that will go into a very wet pattern into next week. So here's a visual of that tropical moisture moving up the coast of Mexico and then going over the southeast. So this is going to increase our humidity levels as well and then provide fuel for these thunderstorms to develop along that front that'll move through across our area at the beginning part of next week. So our futurecast shows the circle area is where the tropical storm remnants are currently. As you can see, it's moving up the coastline. As a very small chance for development, there's a lot of wind shear going on. But as you can see, one thing for sure that is guaranteed is it's bringing a lot of rain to areas of Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, here at home, and into Florida as well, lasting for quite some time into next week, just because that front does stall out and that tropical moisture is going to linger around for quite some time. So here's a look at the storm currently. It is June 12th. And our area, we're seeing a lot of moisture, obviously. We feel it, air that you can wear. But look how much moisture is associated with it on our water vapor. That is the remnants there, that blue color, mixing in with that drier air as well. That is the remnants of Tropical Storm Christina. So let's bump into what we're expecting for this weekend. Pretty typical for our pattern, a typical summertime pattern. Our temperatures are slightly above average. We're still usually around 89 to 90 degrees this time of year, but we're going to be in the mid 90s possible, lower to mid 90s. It's going to be a hot one. Rain chances are at about a 40% chance on Saturday, slightly drier on Sunday. The good news is these are scattered showers and thunderstorms. It's not going to ruin any of your plans. You won't need to change your plans like we have over the last couple of weekends. But one thing I do want you to know is it's going to be hot, a scorcher. You saw those 94-degree temperatures. Well, look at our temperature versus heat index value for tomorrow. Our temperatures will be in the lower to mid 90s across the area, but we're going to be feeling like the triple digits. We could be feeling like 100 degrees to 107 degrees across the FOX10 viewing area. So it's going to be hot out there, and that goes into Sunday as well. Triple digit feels like temperatures across the entirety of the FOX10 neighborhood. Now, this is when I want you to prepare, just because we're getting into our summertime heat. Make sure you know the difference between heat stroke, heat exhaustion, and make sure you drink plenty of water, take breaks in the shade, and take break in the AC. I also want to make sure you listen to your body on when you do get to the point where you have pushed yourself too much. Go inside, take a cold shower, but also check on those vulnerable to the heat. Your friends, your family, your children, and even your furry friends. Your pets and animals can experience all of these as well. If you can feel it, they can feel it as well. Then on top of it, this is the time of year where pavement gets very hot. So move your walks to the beginning of the day, right around sunrise and right after sunset, because that allows pavement to cool off, because that holds on to heat for quite some time. But also, you don't want to be walking in the heat. They're not going to be wanting to walk in the heat either. So here's a look at the futurecast to give you an idea. We're going to fine tune this more going into the weekend as the high resolution model comes out. But as you can see, scattered showers and thunderstorms possible across the area on Saturday. There'll be about 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes force and duration. Just keep an eye on the sky. Remember, when thunder roars, head indoors. Then we dry out going into Sunday morning. Can't rule out a lingering morning shower. Then more showers and thunderstorms develop during the late lunchtime, early evening hours. Another thing that helps fuel these are the sea breeze and daytime heating. So that goes into Monday as well, which introduces more of a widespread rain outlook in our rain chances. We have that 40 and 30% for Saturday and Sunday. Then we bump up those rain chances starting on Monday as well as Tuesday, when more widespread rain is likely. Now the reason is we have a front approaching our area from the north. That front is going to bring in a lot of rain, but on top of that, it is going to stall out over our area. It's going to be a stalled front, so it's just going to sit over us, continuously allowing this rain to fall and dump over our area. Now, we see the potential for localized flooding across the area, but our rainfall totals aren't that impressive at this time. This could always change, do know that, but we can see about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall from this system. Now, on top of that, that front sits over us. Now, when we have fronts move through, we have wind direction. We have changes in our wind direction. Above, this is the front. Above it, we'll have northerly flow. Below it, we'll have southerly flow, southwesterly, southeasterly. Because of that gradient there, where we have that temperature change, we're going to have gustier winds going into next week. Now, Monday's not terrible, 15 to 20 mile per hour wind gusts, but moving through the week, we start to see it pick up to 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts, starting on Tuesday, going into Wednesday, and lasting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly into Friday as well. Now, this is going to be a concern because we have a lot of people visiting our Gulf Coast waters, and we have a high risk of rip currents starting on Tuesday as well as Wednesday. Now, this means the water is not safe to get into, so maybe change those days into pool days. This is an early look into this, so do note the rip current risk does change day by day, but also each individual beach can change their forecast as well. So Gulf Shores could have red flags, but Pensacola Beach could have double red flags. So pay attention to those beach flags, check the local forecast every day as it changes every day, know where the closest lifeguard stand is as well. So to summarize what exactly we talked about here, the heat index values are going to be the biggest thing this weekend. Heat index values between 100 and 107 degrees. Could see some scattered rain and storms throughout the weekend, but for the most part, yes, we have above average temperatures, but it's pretty typical for our summertime pattern. Then going into next week, a front stalls over the Gulf Coast, leading to a wet forecast. And then we also have that tropical moisture coming into play as well. So it's going to be humid, it's going to be wet, and the rip current risk will also increase going into next week because of that boundary just sitting over us and wind changes present. So this is everything to kind of give you a heads up. Maybe a lot of people like to plan ahead, especially now that we're into summer across the Gulf Coast. A lot of people want to get out and about, enjoy the weather, and then spend time with their family and friends. So this is mainly a heads up to you. Do know a lot of this can change and will be fine-tuned in the next couple of days, but this is just to give you a heads up for people who like to plan ahead, just so you know what's going to happen going into this weekend and into next week. But thank you so much for joining me for Next Weather. Check out everything else that the Gulfstream app has to offer, or there's more information on fox10tv.com of other streaming options and things that you can check out as well.